Hello and welcome back to the video series Rethinking Corporate Learning. In this video, we will talk about the much discussed topic of interactivities in e-learning. A simple Google search of e-learning creation will tell you that including interactivities is the ultimate way to enhance the learning experience of your learner. Adding clickable contents, tabbed interactivities, flashcards, or interactive pictures are portrayed as the best way to engage your learner. But how many of these claims are the truth, and how many are myths? Does interactivity really help increase learner potential? To understand the answers to these pertinent questions, let's first look at what interactivity means in the context of e-learning. The concept of interactivity comes from the learning theory called constructivism, which puts learner at the center of knowledge construction in a learning environment. And in a learner-centered environment, it is through these interactions a learner constructs their knowledge. In other words, yes, interactivities are very important. There are three different types of interactions that usually happen in a learning environment: learner-instructor, learner-learner, and learner-content. In e-learning, there is another form of interaction that happens with all the stakeholders: interaction with technology. While a good learning design should encompass all these different forms of interactivities and learning content, unfortunately, with popular e-learning design theories, designing learning interactivities is becoming synonymous to learner and technology interaction. Converting text-based learning content into digital formats only increase the number of clicks for viewing the information. At times, it's very distracting. It's a general perception that including learner technology in the form of interactivity enhances the learning efficiency. But that's largely a myth. In corporate education, the most popular e-learning forms are self-paced asynchronous learning, which means learners go through the content in their own time at their own pace, which is probably very suitable in a corporate environment. The only form of interaction the learner has in this mode is the content. The host of learning tools you encounter only highlight on various interactivities that fall within the learner-content interaction. However, research shows one of the most important interaction a learner can have to construct their own knowledge is with a fellow learner. Leading universities, when they develop their e-learning programs, ensure that peer interactions form a big part of the learning experience of the student. They design group activities, discussion forums, where the learner must present their understanding of a concept rather than passively clicking through tool-based courses. Even corporate giants like Google intentionally create opportunities for employees to learn from each other. They have a peer-to-peer learning network just to promote the social angle of learning. It's not an unknown fact any longer that the popularity of e-learning in the corporate world is booming, but the learning effectiveness is hardly measured in these corporate programs. An American Society of Training and Development study found that 67% of the training directors who were interviewed do not measure the effectiveness of their internet-based programs at all. This study also found that while 95% of the surveyed organizations gauged trainees' reactions to courses, for example, how well they like the courses, only 3% of respondents make a real effort to measure the business result of training programs. In other words, we don't really know if the learning we design is helping our learners learn more as compared to traditional classroom-based approaches. Randomly including technology-based interactivities in learning design certainly has limited or probably negative effect in learning efficiency. Whether you design classroom-based learning or computer-based, the key learning design principle is providing the learner control to construct their own learning. This does not mean you are allowing the learner to create their own truths. For example, it would be disastrous if you create a compliance course and you do not provide guidance to the learner about the correct procedure. This simply means the learner chooses to learn their own way, and you provide them enough options in your learning design. And when it comes to interactivities, treat them as tools to create questions in the mind of a learner. Especially as adults, we like to believe we are in charge. When designing your content, keep in mind that a good learning design would help a learner control. Place the learner in control of their learning. Communicate. Ensure learner interacts not just with the content but also with the real world or peers. And create. Get scope to apply and evaluate the learning. So what are some good examples of interactivities that may help a learner? A lot of research has gone into using video in e-learning. But instead of using long passive videos, for example a recorded lecture or a WebEx recording, a study found that interactive videos provided greater learning effectiveness than traditional instructor-led training or non-interactive passive e-learning content. In these e-learning videos, learners could skip to sections which they wanted to learn in their own order. Quizzes, assessments, and hands-on exercises are great options to include in e-learning content as well. To conclude, as a learning developer, focus on adding learning elements that push your learner to think and create an understanding of the content. What are some things you feel are important in designing learning interactivities? Please reach out and write in comments below. Thanks for watching the video.